Go Padres.
If you're hearing our voices, it means it's time for It's This Means Out, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer and credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared. It's Padres season, right?
Yeah, it's Padres season, right? We're not Padre fans here, but I'm fine rooting for the Padres.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
Do they even play the Red Sox?
Probably in some interleague play.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they do this year. Who knows? Maybe we'll go to a game if
Listeners.
they do.
Yeah. Listeners, do you watch baseball?
Do you like the Padres? All right, enough of that. Where are we? So we're back with our part 2 of the breakdown of the True Memoirs of an International Assassin, 2016. I was supposed to say James Cameron, Kevin James movie.
Break it down.
I wish it was a James Cameron directed movie with Kevin James in it.
Yeah, that could be good.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
So we leave off. We not much. Kevin James' character is thrown into this world of Venezuela. He's being used by everyone to accomplish their own goals, which involve pretty much either taking over and/or running Venezuela and/or their businesses. And
some amount of murder.
And then we get the DEA on it here. Rosa, and they're at a restaurant. We got the waiter who called in to someone.
Unknown caller.
So we're at the restaurant, and then Juan just shows up, and
that's who he was calling.
That's who he was calling.
Works every time.
So we got so Juan shows up with the gun, and he's just like, "Hey, gotcha." And then Sam has like another one of those daydream moments, right? He's like, "Oh, this is what I could do, kick ass," but he doesn't.
Yeah, well, accidentally kills himself in that daydream.
yes. He like shoots him, ricochets off everything, hits him in the head, and Rose is like, "Oh, great." So yeah. I guess there's a little bit more here about Rosa gets into a bit here, right? About how she's like a one woman operation. That's kind of important, right? And she's down here by herself. And
exactly.
Yeah, we learned the CIA's motives is just they want to keep things status quo. They don't want anything rattled. They just want to keep it as it is. Because they can
this
control
whole drug trade thing, it's working for them just fine.
Yeah, it's fine. War and drugs, let's go. So yeah, then they Rosa and Juan fight, and it's stuff from the trailer. Sam steps in and does punch Juan, so he gets a moment of doing something. But then the waiter,
it's actiony,
pulls a gun and is like, "I got you all."
Yep.
Then we're back at the CIA headquarters.
Yeah.
And they're tracking Sam, and they're just so this is like kind of cut from the trailer, but they're like they kind of start to believe he might actually be the real ghost, right? Because he's got some like they're reading his book, and like he's got some connections to like real things that happened. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know that happened, but that makes sense."
Only somebody who like was in the know would know that.
Yeah.
Interesting,
yeah. So then we're back in the Venezuela streets here, Caracas streets, I guess, and Juan and Sam are like going back and forth. It's kind of funny, their little interchange here, but it's whatever. And you
punch like a small child, just like the highlight of that one.
Yeah, and then Juan basically just continuing to say like, "I don't believe that you're the ghost." It's all stuff from the trailer. And then they come across like a military checkpoint, right? Yeah. And they're hiding from that. And Sam is like, "Hey, you know what? We got to get our heads in the game. Let's go get the truck and go." And he just runs out in the middle of the street, gets to the truck, and looks back at Juan. Juan's still like hiding. He's got the keys.
Captured immediately.
And he's captured. And this is the halfway point, time-wise, of the movie.
Yep.
And we're at
our presidential palace, right?
Yeah. Here we are at the palace. And this is where Sam meets the General Ruiz.
Yep. And first things first, he needs the bathroom. As is tradition,
get
out of a bad situation, I gotta pee.
I gotta go pee. That's it. So make it a whole plot reminder, right? Masovich wants the ghost to kill El Toro. El Toro wants him to kill the president. Yeah. There's kind of a funny cat joke here. He's like, "Oh, what's your name?" He's like, "My name's Sam." He's like, "I used to have a cat named Sam, a little tiny cat.
I used to have a tiny cat.
A tiny cat named Sam." It's like, I think they call that a kitten. I don't know why I laughed. It was so stupid.
Yeah, it's funny.
But now we got
basically Ruse is like, "Sam, forget all those other offers. The president needs you to kill Masovich."
The old
at this point, the old kill triangle.
Yeah, it's the old Venezuela standoff.
Like a love triangle, but more violence.
And then we're back at the CIA, and of course they do that transition thing where you have the CCTV security camera pans out to them.
Yeah.
And they're basically watching a conversation with the general, and then they're like, one of the guys like, "This is straight from chapter 12."
yeah. And he's like,
his whole plan to kill, to kill Masovich was all from chapter 12, and it's stuff from the trailer about Rob Riggle being like, "You either gotta be really dumb, or it's like the stupidest thing ever to like write this," you know?
Yeah. He's like, well, you got to be. Let's get the C4. We can't kill an American. Well, not directly. And that's when we cut to the CIA meeting with Masovich, right?
Yes. Yep. And they kind of fill him in what's going on. Classic CIA, just playing all the sides.
Yep. They're like, oh, you know that guy? I think he's gonna try to kill you, dude. You should probably kill that guy.
And Masovich is like, he's like, hey, tell Paolo to get me like a Zima or something like that. And the guy's like, you killed Paolo, sir. And he shoots him. The CIA are like, what are you doing? You can't do this in front of us. Like,
you can't just kill all the help. It's pretty funny.
So number Red Rose is the DEA like safe house ish, and Sam's meeting with Rosa.
Yep.
And then he updates her. He's like, hey, I just met with the general, and he wants me to eliminate Masovich. More plot stuff. The country's better off without Masovich. And then we get some backstory about Rosa. She grew up here. She thinks that, DA thinks she'll fail. She's kind of by herself. She's got no more resources. But if she doesn't do anything here, who will? There won't be any change. And we get him opening about how he thinks he hasn't made a difference. Of course, by the end of the movie, he will.
Yep, exactly.
And while this is happening, they're having
this exposition.
Yeah, a ton of exposition about backstory, about their motivations and where they are, who they are. And then while this is happening, we get like intercut of like bad guys kind of rolling into the apartment about to crash the party.
Yep.
And then she wants him.
Also, I was going to say, she explains the new plan, which is you got to get the president on tape admitting that he wants to kill Masovich.
Yes. Yeah.
If the movie couldn't get more convoluted.
Yeah, I know. It's like, Jesus. Okay. So he's got to wear a wire at the inauguration. Everything's going to go down at this inauguration. And then, so they're sitting there talking, and she's like, I promise I won't let anything happen to you. And as soon as she says that, a sniper from across the way like takes a shot and hits him in the shoulder, which was kind of funny timing.
It was pretty funny.
And it's the police. They show up, so they kick open. It's all stuff from the trailer.
The Masovich payroll boys.
Yep.
Sam does set a little trap. He's useful for once.
Yeah. Fun little Home Alone trap. Opens up the water pipes, so water's over the floor, and sets a lamp up on the on the ground. So as soon as they flip the switch, it all gets zapped.
Hilarious.
Very Home Alone. And then we're in the streets again, and they're kind of off somewhere, and she's patching him up. We get more backstory about how everything is corrupt. Yep. She's got no resources, and then finally he's like, "Yeah, I'll agree to wear a wire." He's starting to learn to live his life. He's getting his confidence, and they're like, "Yeah, but to pull this off, we're gonna need like a small army." And he's like, "I got an idea."
Yeah, and she's also like starting to care about him a little bit at this point. She's like, it's too dangerous. I can't make you do that. We just got to get you out of the country.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, like I have to make a difference now because I'm committed to this. Like my life's so boring.
So boring.
And we get to the El Toro compound.
Yeah. So they meet with El Toro and they agree to a plan. So they need El Toro and his crew to protect them from Masovich so they can get into the Presidente to get the confession on the wire. So, and we cut to like nighttime and it's just the two of them hanging out and he's showing off all of his gun skills. Like,
yeah, they're doing some shooting practice. He's like doing some tricks. She's like, that's not practical.
I wonder if that's going to come back later. A little foreshadowed of like him flipping a gun in the air and catching it and shooting and hitting like cans across the way.
Yeah. He's like, I could totally do that in battle. She's like, yeah, okay.
And then there's like this moment of like over the top, like him, like, reading her personality and her behavior. He's like, wait a second. That's why you give me all these nicknames and stuff is because like you're one woman and why you're a one woman operation. Like you push people away. You can't get hurt. This is too much. Right. And then she goes on and she's,
it's pretty funny.
It's pretty funny.
Like, well, it was so hard when my first partner died and blah, blah, blah. Here's what happened. And then I lost 2 more that year.
In 1 year. He's like, wait, you lost 2 more?
So there's 3 partners lost now? And he's like, well, and then there's the 2 in Mexico. Like that was just here.
He like goes to touch her.
They call me the Jinx.
And he goes to like touch her shoulder. She's like, it seems like everyone that touches me dies. And he slowly pulls his hand away. It's kind of funny. And then she's just messing with him.
Yep. Classic.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a waste of a scene, but it was kind of funny-ish. I don't know.
Yep.
Anyways,
then they do like a very quick throwaway cutaway with Juan and El Toro. Like, man,
Yeah.
Rose has been trying to. This woman's been trying to take down Masovich for years. Like, I don't know
Right.
how this is going to play out for us.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
see how it goes. I don't know. It's kind of stupid throwaway.
Yeah. And we got an overlay title card day of the inauguration.
Yep.
And we're at Masovich's house.
He spells wrong and then fixes.
Fixes.
Why'd you do that? Like, don't do that. What a waste of movie.
Masovich, and then we're at Masovich's house, right?
Yep.
And he's basically just after DA.
Yeah.
Sam?
He's like,
yeah.
he's complaining about how the cops like let him down. They didn't kill Sam. He's like,
Right.
you know what? I'm just going to kill him myself when I see them at the inauguration.
Right. That's all it was. That's right. Okay. And then we're back at the El Toro camp. This starts cutting quickly back and forth to everyone that's culminating in this inauguration. And we see Rosa and Sam all decked out in dress and suit.
El Toro's super excited about him killing the president.
Yeah. He's got them a nice Bentley to go drive the inauguration in. They kind of have a cute moment because they had this one earlier where like, would he open a beer for her or something like that? And she's like, I could have done it myself. And he's like, yeah, I know. I just was just doing it.
No big thing.
No big thing. And she like opens the door for him. He's like, I could have done that. And she's like, it's not a big deal, you know? Mm-hmm. So then El Toro and this is an important line here. So they leave and El Toro says to Juan, is like, let's keep an eye on them so we can take back our country. And El Toro's like, it's my country.
Yeah, we'll take back my country.
My country. So that's a little sign. That's a little foreshadowed of like, oh, another double cross, another turn here. So
sowing the seeds.
So then we're in the car.
Spanish hungry like the wolf.
Yeah.
Over our driving montage.
Yep. President's car. Yeah, they have another moment in the car ride. I don't know if anything else really happens here. She gets him set up with the wire.
Like, sets him up with the wire. Yeah, that's kind of it.
Get the president to confess, and then El Toro move back into power. They have another moment. Be careful. Yada yada. And then we're at the inauguration.
Yeah.
And they split up immediately, and the general meets with Sam, General Ruiz, right? He's like, how's the plan going here? He's like, yeah, Masovich will be dead. And then Masovich is there.
Yeah. By tomorrow, it'll be like, he'll be hurting by tomorrow. And it was hurting because he'll be dead, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So Masovich is there and he like breaks a glass. Yeah, he spots him. He breaks a glass and he takes the end of it, so he's gonna go stab, and he starts following Sam.
Right about when he's gonna come up on him, Rosa grabs him and is like, "Let's dance."
Let's dance.
You would think he would just stab her right then.
Yes,
but
no,
for some reason he doesn't.
They decide to dance fight. Sometimes you do that. So, and then Juan shows up. He's there. He's a waiter, right? He's like, reminds him, hey, don't forget to kill the president. And if he doesn't do it, Juan will do it, and then he'll kill Sam. So, little reminder.
Exactly. So meanwhile, he's like texting his publisher, and he's like, if you don't hear from me, I died in Venezuela. And so she calls him immediately, and she's like, you're kidding, right? And he's like, now's not a really good time. That was a little funny.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
And there's more dance fighting, right?
More dance fighting, yep.
CIA is watching the video of all this. They're like,
eating popcorn.
That guy might be the ghost. And he's like, bet you a year's salary he kills the president. And Rob Riggle's like, easiest 17 grand I ever made.
They're the best. And then he talks to the president, right?
Yep. So Sam finds the president, gets him alone a little bit at the inauguration, and president's just like complaining about all the Mexican food.
It's all terrible. It's all like Mexican food.
Yeah. Which presumably it's Venezuelan food, and other various insults to the country, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then he recognizes Sam from the Katie Couric interview.
Yes.
And he's like, wait, have you seen the auto-tune version on YouTube? It's so funny.
Of his interview, which the president's pretty funny. But then I do like that they set this up, and in the credits, they played the auto-tune. Like, all right, well played. That was good. Glad you brought that back.
Yep.
And then we cut back to Rosa and Masovich still like fighting. And then Sam starts playing the president. He starts talking about making Masovich disappear forever.
There's a bunch of quick cuts here back and forth between the fighting, and the president and Juan like doing random shit.
That's
kind of like all intercut, right?
Yep. And the fight ends with her tackling Masvich out the window, which is from the trailer.
Yep. Juan brings snacks for the president.
Because he doesn't want Mexican food. He wants this quote unquote Mexican food. He wants hot dogs.
Yeah, we kind of he wants hot dogs. We kind of glossed over it earlier, but he just like calls out Juan at one point. And he's like, Juan, and he's like, what? I was like, oh my god, he recognized me. He's like, no, I just call him all Juan, and like I'm right 40% of the time.
Oh, good. Good. So then they're like the president's office, I think, and that's when Juan brings in the little pigs in a blanket and a beer or whatever, and then he basically have a funny kind of back and forth, and finally Sam leads him to confess that he wants him to kill Masvich.
Yeah, he's like very much like trying to avoid saying it.
Yeah, but then the president recognizes that he's like wearing a wire.
And there's also a quick meanwhile downstairs where General Ruiz is like, wait a second, I think Sam's going to kill the president. And so he starts to mobilize that group also. So everything's starting to come together, right?
We come back up. The president sees the wire. He's like, and then he kind of goes off the deep end. He just like goes on about how much he hates the country. He's like, I knew this was going to happen. He goes on. He's like,
get caught.
He's like, I hate the people. Because it's funny because he's the president. He's like, I hate the people. I hate the country. He's like, I hate the food. I hate soccer.
Go Padres.
Go Padres. And he's like, then he goes on about how he hates himself, and then like they kind of have like this moment. Sam's like, no, it's okay, buddy, it's fine, it's funny. And the president
can still make a difference.
And then the president pulls out a gun, and he ends up killing himself.
Yeah, just shoots himself in the head. And Sam's like,
oh my god. So then, meanwhile,
perfect timing. Rosa and Masvich bust in through the window,
right? Because they come back in, right, fighting stuff.
Yeah. And Sam's like, I think he's still breathing. And Rosa's like, well, do CPR. And he's like, I don't know how to do CPR. I only know how to kill people. Oh my god. So they go back and forth. This fight's still going on, right? And then the general shows up and he steps in. He's going to shoot Sam, right? But then Rosa pushes Masvich in front. So the general kills Masvich. Now you get the president's dead and Masvich dead. So that's two problems solved. And then Reese is like, well, arrest these people.
Yeah, for killing the president.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then they do a quick cutout
to CIA.
The CIA. He did it. Son of a bitch actually did it.
Oh my god. And then we cut out to El Toro's camp, right? And he's celebrating with the troops that the president is dead.
With Spanish Phil Collins.
It's coming in the air tonight.
Yeah.
At first I was like, why is this happening? And then like realizing they were all in Spanish, like, all right, it's kind of funny. So we're outside and we got they were like driving around, I think, right? Because they're in like a this van or something, like arrested, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like around them, like celebration is happening. Like Caracas is burning, basically, like riots and stuff, and there's Molotov cocktails getting tossed, and like everyone's stoked the president's dead. In the police van, Sam and Rosa, like it seems like things are going south. They're in a bad way. Yeah. When all of a sudden they stop and the door opens and it's El Toro.
And El Toro, in a funny way, makes Juan apologize, saying like he doubted he was a ghost, which is kind of funny.
Yep.
And then El Toro's like, hey, I want Rose's input on how we can change the country. How can we make this a better place? So she goes off with Juan, and then Sam starts like walking with El Toro, like kind of down the street ahead of him. And they're like talking, blah, blah, I can't wait to get home. And then El Toro pulls a gun on him.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm sorry, friend, but and this is kind of a funny exchange. He's like, you know too much, you must die. And then El Toro goes on. He's like, but you will live in our hearts. He's like, yeah, but I'll be dead. He's
You'll
like,
be
yeah,
hero.
But songs will be written about you. Yeah, but I'll be dead.
Beautiful songs.
Beautiful songs. Yeah, but I'll be dead. And he keep going on and on. He's like, the tales of you will be told for time and forever. Yeah. He's like,
the generations.
I will be dead.
Yeah. And then thankfully, in the nick of time, the CIA arrives.
Hey-o, here we are.
Which part of the deal with General Ruiz apparently was needing Sam alive. Nice work. Yes. The State Department, somebody called in a favor, and Sam gets a free pass.
Yep. And then they're like, El Toro's like, yeah, but what he's going to tell our stories out of that. And they're like, he's a fraud. No one's going to believe him. So
exactly.
El Toro is hurt.
It's not the ghost, just some loser.
Just some loser. And El Toro's hurt. He's like, I was going to write beautiful songs about you.
Yep.
Yeah, Rob Riggle's like, if he starts singing, shoot him.
Yep.
And then we're in a car with the CIA, and Sam doesn't feel right. He's like, "This doesn't feel right." And he's like, "If he was going to be killed, like, what about Rosa?"
Yeah, you guys are gonna help Rosa, right? And they're like, different team.
Different team than DA. We don't
Yeah,
care.
yeah. We made the last DEA guy eat a C4 sandwich, so
So
which Sam gets on recording on his phone,
yes, yeah, he records on his phone.
like a smart person.
Yes, and then we cut to back to El Toro, and he's going to execute Rosa, and Juan is kind of surprised. He's like, "Oh, okay."
Yep.
And then we cut to the airport, and this is where CIA guys are trying to throw Sam in the airplane and just get him out of here.
Yep.
And he's like, I still just want to make sure Rosa's safe. So he finally gets his confidence and finally plays out all of his daydream action moments and just kicks the shit out of the two CIA guys, takes their gun.
Yeah.
And he's
surprisingly successfully.
yeah, and he's going to go, and he threatens them. He's like, hey, I'll send this recording to New York Times. And Robert goes like, okay. And then they fight. And then, yeah, then they leave. And then Robert goes, they come out like watching him as he like takes off. He's like, you know, he might actually be the ghost. All right.
Yep. Yep. It's our final chapter, finally.
Final chapter.
Save the girl.
Save the girl. And then we're back at the El Toro camp.
Yep.
And
he's got Rosa like in a noose, like on a stool, and like he wants info on Masovich. He wants the whole Masovich empire, right?
Yeah.
So he does a bunch of exposition about that.
Yep.
Like it's not, the drugs aren't going to stop. I need that money.
Right.
Right. Which you're like, okay, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of everything that we were doing here.
Pretty much.
But then outside, Sam arrives and he's going through the CIA trunk and he finds the C4 and he's like, all right, we can make this work.
We could use something with this. We could do something here.
Yep.
Back to El Toro, drug trade dies of Masovich. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. We cut back to Sam has the SUV rigged to smash through the campground, right? The campground here, campground.
Our third and final SUV through the wall.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have it. That's like easy action right there as a distraction. So that it's like cruises through the whole compound and then like crashes to the other side, and all the guys like follow it and they look inside and
chapter 17.
That was kind of funny because the guy opens the door, he sees a C4 rigged to it, and like Sam's like trying to hit like the lock button or whatever, and like finally hits and explosion. They all dead. So
yep. So El Toro hears the explosion and is like, all right, Juan, you got to shoot her. And he's like, I don't like, this isn't like you. Like we're not murderers here, I thought.
Yeah.
And he's like, no more wet blanket. You gotta be a man. Like, but thankfully Sam arrives just in time and says, no, Juan, you don't have to be a man. You have to be your own man.
That's right.
So he holds El Toro at gunpoint.
Yep.
El Toro kicks the stool out from under Rosa. Sam goes to grab her.
It's all action stuff.
Joke. Yeah. It's a whole convoluted scene.
And no, everything that was happening before, or I guess like it's happening in a second, but like this, all the things have been set up earlier are starting to pay off. The knife to a gunfight moment. It's all the stuff from the trailer. He throws a knife at him and he's like, oh, geez, you knife to a gunfight. Juan gets hit. He gets kind of banged up a bit, right?
Yep.
And then
El Toro grabs Rosa and bails, right?
Yeah, hits the helicopter. And then Juan tells Sam, is like, hey, the ghost can't save her, but you can.
Mm-hmm.
Helicopter.
Just in time. The helicopter's got to get him to the capital, right? Because he's trying to take over the country.
That's yep.
And basically, just like we practiced in the beginning with the whole helicopter fight scene, Operation Dumbo Drop.
Yep.
They're doing a El Toro fight. The helicopter takes off. They all get in. Like the pilot dies. Classic. El Toro takes over. Sam's like hanging on to the whatever the helicopter under things are called.
Yeah, the landing gear there. I don't know, the landing skis, the landing
landing
pads,
skis.
The landing skis. Yeah, they look like skis.
Yeah, listeners, do you know what helicopter parts are called?
So yeah, he's hanging on that, and then like El Toro's flying the helicopter now, and he's like flying him into trees and bushes and plants and trees mostly because they're up in the air.
Yeah.
And then trying to knock him off by hitting the trees, whatever. But then he climbs back up and he's inside, and then they fight, and then we get the gun move. We get the trick gun move where the gun's flipping up in the air. Sam grabs it.
Yep.
A couple shots in El Toro.
Awesome.
It's action. And El Toro's dead. He falls out of the helicopter and into a tree.
He's like, I knew you were the ghost. As he falls out and like gets mangled by a tree. Like,
yeah.
Sounds are graphic.
yeah, very, very much so. And then this is all paying off now. Everything is paying off, right?
Yep.
We get the
we got to jump.
Yeah, better to jump versus crashing. So they jump, they plow through some trees and land in a nice little Venezuelan pond
somehow.
Lake.
They're in a water, like a little pond lake thing. Who knows?
Lucky jump.
Yep, swimming ashore just like the book.
Yep. Get the shush moment.
The trailer. Yep. Get the shush with the almost broken finger.
Broken fingers, and then because we need more plot twists in this convoluted plot here, we get General Ruiz shows up, and he's going to kill them.
Yep. All 3 kings of Caracas are dead. Now it's my time. I just got to kill these last guys.
That's it. And then out of nowhere, the guy in the truck gets sniped, and Ruiz gets sniped.
It's the real ghost.
Amos, the old guy from the pool hall.
Yep. And Sam's like, wait, I thought you were just an analyst. And he's like, oh. Now the whole movie's coming together for me. I get it.
Yeah. Okay. And old guy shushes him. He's like, yeah, wait, you're the old guy shushes him. And then Sam goes to turn to talk to Rosa, and then they turn back, and Amos is just gone. He's like, he's a ghost.
So cool.
So cool. Title card, 6 months later.
6 months later.
We got Venezuela. We got Juan giving a big speech. He moved in as the presidente, right?
Yep. Everything seems like it's working out now, right?
CIA bros there. They're like, it's going to be hard to control this guy, isn't it? Rosa's there. She's watching.
Yeah.
And then we cut to Yahoo News. We're back on the interview, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And
because it's CIA, I hate this guy, and then cuts to the publisher saying, I love this guy. He's gonna make her a bunch of money.
Yep.
And talk about how he's liar, fraud, phony, all names that Sam used to be called.
Right.
Yeah. He's got
a
beard now.
He's got a beard now, yeah, because that's what writers do. When you write a book, you get a beard. And then Katie Couric's like, hey, the events in this book draw a lot of parallels to the events that really happened in Venezuela. Big question, are these true? Is this actually what happened? And he, he answers, he's like, I could tell you, it's absolutely not true.
Yep.
Everyone smiles. We get more songs in Spanish.
Implied wink.
Yep. And then we do we get another title card, new mission? Did I miss that one?
Yep, it just says title card, new mission.
That's kind of
it.
Unless we need a sequel,
I guess so. But it's been almost 10 years. I don't think there'll ever be a sequel.
No. This is not a sequel worthy movie. And then we get the credits and we get the auto-tune version of the interview.
Yeah. What a delight.
And that is the end of the True Memoirs of an International Assassin.
Ooh, what a trip. What a flick.
Oh my goodness. Not good. Not funny.
Russ and Jared ameliorate.
Let's do it. Runtime I'm good with, an hour and a half. That's nice.
Nailed it.
I think you could you need to cut out, there's too many twists and double crosses going on. I mean, I get it. Maybe that's a joke. Is that a joke they're making? Is that like a joke they're making about
the
genre novels? There's genre maybe, but
yeah, I don't know.
Just felt
make the twists less obvious.
Yeah. They're all
they're all going to betray each other. Amos is the ghost. Like,
yeah. I mean, maybe they're leaning in on like that trope of like maybe from these types of genre. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe.
Make all your scene transition things like consistent. If you're going to do the jokey like computer screen or typewriter thing on the screen to tell us what's going on, have it all be that. Have the opening credits be that. Have the in between be that, and that's fine. Like I don't mind like the old like typo whatever. That's fine, but like keep it consistent. Use that joke once.
The boys like consistency. Yeah.
I would lean into. This is where I'm going a little on a limb here. I'd lean into breaking the fourth wall with the Mason Carver character, right?
Yeah, that could be fun.
Because then you could give that character like actual like life, right? And then they could be like, well, he is supposed to be, he's not Kevin James. That's technically, he shouldn't be really Kevin James, right? Like he makes his own decisions and he's the more confident version. So he should almost
like have him critique Sam.
Have him do like that, almost like kind of play off like this,
I like that.
Like, I think that's the way to go. Now, you could get so much more laughs out of that.
Yeah. I think let Kevin James improv a little bit more. Like Kevin James is funny. He's got good improv chops. I feel like he could do something here that lost opportunities. I think like sometimes it feels a little too scripted, you know?
Let's see what else. I mean, I always like the concept. I like that concept, that meta concept of the writer being in it. But I mean, it's a little overplayed, it's a little tropey, but I think maybe they're playing off that. But I would also make this like, I mean, they kind of did, but I was going to say like make it lean into like the 80s action movie, but they kind of did. So maybe
kind of not hard enough.
Not hard enough. Maybe they could have gone more into that, Like just steal a plot from some Schwarzenegger like movie from the 80s and just do that.
Exactly. Yep. Go harder. Give the CIA boys more screen time.
Yeah, second, give the Presidente. Make it more about him. Have him be, because he's funny.
He's very funny.
He's funny. So stick with him. And definitely the CIA boys. I think that's all you need. You just need those groups so you can have more screen time for them to chew,
Maybe give Rosa a little more backstory. Like I feel like they like teased at her backstory a little bit here and there, and like sometimes it was joking.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like I feel like she could have been a more fleshed out character if it was a little more interesting.
They did it in like one scene.
Right.
And it was just like I grew up here. I want to make change. Okay.
Like she's basically the real hero. So like I feel like she should get a little more screen time.
Yeah. I don't know. Anything else? I think that's pretty good, but
I think we fixed it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's shut this coup down then, right?
On to the next one, yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with a new movie. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram. It's This Meets That. We're ITMP Pod on Twitter. Subscribe wherever you're listening to us and share with a friend.
Or share with a stranger. Write a review. We really appreciate it. Apple, Spotify, where they let you write reviews. Yelp. Still waiting for that Yelp review.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait.
Right? Or give us long form feedback. You're feeling a little old fashioned, maybe. You can send us an email. It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com.
Always feeling old fashioned.
You don't want to do any of those things? Go to the website. Just do that one thing for me.
Yeah.
You can find all the links that Russ was talking about earlier. Guess what? On the website.
You can click on an ad to help support us.
Click on an ad.
That's the cheapest way to help us. The lowest
They're probably
effort.
personalized.
Yeah. They're probably a pair of shoes you want to buy.
Of course. Just click. You don't have to buy them. Just click.
Just click.
It's all about the clicks, baby.
All about the clicks.
Yep. There's a link to merch. You can get ITMT merch, t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, pants.
Need it. Pants.
ITMT pants. Can you imagine?
Oh my God, no.
In the world. There might be a link somewhere to Russ's book, Host. Buy that wherever you can get books.
Find it. Do it.
I don't know. Anything else? Just it's at the website. It's thismeetsthat.com. Check it out.